Hello and welcome to the Veterans Rally Point Podcast, the podcast created by veterans for veterans and their families. And now, from the Easterseals Veterans Rally Point studios in Norwich, Connecticut, here are your hosts.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Veterans Rally Point. We are live broadcasting today remotely. We're trying something entirely different, testing our technological boundaries here today to see if we can do me remote because there's a heck of a storm going on outside, wires down, winds are whipping, dangerous driving conditions. And yet we still got a few diehards in the studio. We've got Russ, who's been Navy guy. He's been there since the beginning. And then we got Ben. He's a new crew. And we're looking forward to learn more about him. So one of the things we're going to talk about today is what's the Rally Point offered since its beginning, and things like new guys like Ben, what are they getting out of it? And then we'll hit some a few local current topics and see where things go. So let's kick it off. Russ, give me I was Army for 9 years, 9 days, and was between engagements, no combat, but still ended up with all the problems in my rucksack dealing with. And enough said. So Russ, a little bit about yourself. Go ahead, sir.
Well, the Army wanted to draft me in December of '66, and I said, nothing doing. And I had a couple uncles, they were combat veterans from World War II, and they kept telling me, stay out of the mud, stay out of the mud. Either go in the Navy or go in the Air Force. So I signed up for the Navy and went to boot camp April of '67 and went Great Lakes. From there, they sent me to A school to learn electronics, and I worked on TACAN, ARN 52.
Can I ask a question about the draft? You said you got drafted, right?
No, I did not get drafted.
He jumped in quick.
The Army wanted to draft me. I enlisted.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
What's the difference between draft and enlisting? Did it get options?
Back in those days, draft was you served 2 years and you filled your obligation. And I wound up enlisting, and that was 4 years active, 2 years inactive reserve.
Okay.
So that was the difference.
And if I understand it right, you got to pick what you did if you jumped in, whereas if you got drafted, you were at the needs of the military.
I had a little bit of say in the matter, and I wanted to learn electronics.
Yep. And I believe both Ben and I were electronics as well, so we got a lot in common there. So, and then Ben, you enlisted. You did your own thing. When did you jump in?
I jumped in 2013. It was the best, worst decision of my life. My mother kept telling me that, what are you going to do with your life? And you need to not do more, but the opportunities in which the military brings up afterwards, whether that's VA healthcare. Like, I don't need to pay for healthcare. I have the VA. The only thing they don't pay for is dental. And they've also paid for my education. I never liked learning. I hated school. I absolutely hated school, but I found something after the military. I found manufacturing. It was something that I did radios and computers in the military, and everyone would break those. And manufacturing, I'm fixing the same thing. I'm fixing technology that's just a little bit newer. It runs on Windows 2000 instead of Windows 98, like everything in the military.
Yeah, the technology may be changing, but electronics will never go away. So I have to ask my grandkids when I need something now because I'm that far out of it. I used to be that good, and they're like, Oma, pay attention. This is important. You have to push this, then that. I'm like, I don't even recognize the icons anymore. So, but that's one of the things, with all this changing market and is college worth it and all these other things, is that those are boots on ground jobs, technical jobs that just aren't going anywhere because you have to be able to fix them where they're broken, which, or be able to maintain them on the ground in the location where they're at. So that's always a good one to go for.
The military gave me that they're the first company, the first people to give me responsibility. They had no problem just dropping responsibility in my lap, and that taught me how I suck at delegating even today. I need to realize I might be the best at something, but if I can't explain to you how to do it, I'm not really that good at it. And then once I've learned to explain stuff to other people, it's gotten me farther because now I've developed that skill. Not only can I do it, but I can show you or the person over here. And completely different. What I might be able to explain how to do something to you, the person over here, because of their experiences, they might need to know it's slightly different, or maybe they need to read all about it, then do it, while I like to do it and then read about
That
it.
gives you confidence.
And confidence is something I've been lacking, not in my whole life, but I just realized it hasn't been as much there as it should be. And being able to teach someone what I know, whether it's something stupid I just learned at work, but just being able to, hey, if you try it this way or that way, you might get some better results. And learning how to speak to people differently. That's something in the military. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. It's a couple.
But we
words in
struggle
ways.
with that because when the military, civilian world, it's considered negative speech and positive speech. In the military, it's objective speech. It's like you will never wonder what the error of your ways is in the military because somebody will point it out for you. You will never be at a loss for what you did wrong, and hopefully you will have somebody there to guide you through as to, okay, well, how to handle that differently next time. But you are always, literally first 5 years out, I'm like, question. And they're like, why do you keep doing that? It's like, because I have a question. They're like, just ask it, But when you get out, you learn that the objectivity of it is just, hey, this needs to work. We need to figure out how to do it. And then, relating to humans and civilians is always going to be the challenge in there. But at least if you're working in a technical field, the data drives the discussion, and then the details, you try and stitch those up as you go. So Russ, what did you do when you got out of the Navy?
I finished working on my father's house that he had started. I finished up the upstairs, and from there I applied for different jobs in the area, probably 40 different places, and I got a job at Plastic Wire and Cable in Jewett City, and worked there 23 years till they closed.
Electronics. There you go.
Well, I got away from electronics.
Electrical.
I did whatever they needed there in the mill, and I had a variety of jobs. I finished up as an inspector in a wire mill, and it was good. I enjoyed it.
Good stuff.
So are you officially retired? Or are you working?
I worked till age 70 at various jobs, and I've been retired 8 years now.
Congrats.
Are you enjoying your retirement? My dad retired and he didn't get to enjoy it, unfortunately.
I am enjoying every day of my retirement.
I'm glad to hear that.
So, me too.
I think part of that's being a wise guy, because you still have a lot of wisdom to share, but instead of just sharing it as wisdom, you share it as a wise guy, and I think that helps keep you young.
I had one experience that I always like to relate. It made my time in the Navy worthwhile to me. It was in June of 1969, and I'm walking down one of the main streets of Hamburg, Germany. I got a sailor on one side of me, sailor on the other side of me. I'm in the lead, and I'm in dress blues, and here comes this old man walking toward me. I say old, he was probably 60, and I was 21.
Oh, gee.
He wanted to shake hands. And all right, so we shook hands, and he rolled up his sleeve, and on his forearm, he had about 6 numbers tattooed in blue ink on his forearm. And he explained to us that he was in a concentration camp in April of 1945, scheduled to be executed the following day. Figured he was a dead man, saw no light at the end of the tunnel. And the GIs stormed the front gate of the concentration camp, turned everybody loose. So here he is, 24 years later, shaking my hand, thanking me for my service.
Outstanding. You never know.
I wouldn't even lie when it happened.
what a difference a day makes, though,
Once in a while, this country does something right.
Well, and that's one of the things maybe Ben can attest to. When I first got into combat boots, is you realize the drills that you're doing at boot camp, you're carrying on the legacy of centuries of soldiers before you. The boots that they come up with, whether you love them or hate them, the tents, the gear, the tactics, were all born of centuries of lessons learned, good, bad, and otherwise. And so when you can take that out, and the hard part, as Ben was saying, is translating that into the civilian factor, because it's like, all right, I know all this stuff, but how do I teach this ding dong at work how to do it? And how do I talk to him in a way that he doesn't get his feelings hurt? And can you tell us a little bit about that, Ben?
It's been interesting because I realize I have 99 problems and I am the same factor in all of those. So when I realized that, and I've kind of learned that from my CNC teacher, he taught me when something's going wrong at work, you need to know most of the time you are the reason behind that. And once you understand that, and now not all the time did you cause the machine to malfunction, but once you understand you're the 200-pound gorilla in the equation, the computer runs all day. It has no problems until I go up and start touching it, and then stuff happens. And I want to blame the shift before me. I want to blame the material, but what didn't I do? And I keep circling back around to that, and how can I affect my surroundings? And it's been kind of what I want to say an eye-opening experience the past few years of my life, but I've just been trying to change what I put into my body, and it's amazing that I get different results.
Okay.
I don't like drinking water. I had to carry a Camelback around with me for God knows how long. I'll go thirsty instead of drink water. I don't know.
The human body is 76% water. The brain is 85% water. You got to learn to drink water.
I wasn't feeling good. I'm like, let me just go take a break. I took a break, drank some water, and not even 2 minutes later, it was the first time in my life I actually felt, oh, I need water. Like I felt like the instant difference.
Yep.
Now
it's probably close to like when you have to do bivouac in the military, and it's terrible because you got lowest bidder stuff. It's canvas, it's musty, everything leaks, the stoves don't work. It's just everything is wrong. And then the first time you go out camping as a civilian, you're like, wow, this is great. It's like your first glass of water when you're not having to drink it out of some Camelback or a buffalo tank where it tastes like got some amoebas or sea monkeys going on in it and somebody's science project. And you're like, wow, water's actually all right. I can handle this.
Gotta have it.
And then now some current events. All right, so we got to deal with facts like, all right, thank goodness it's warm weather because price of gas is up. So if you're heating your house, all right, you can wait till winter to worry about that. But how's that affecting your drive-in and things like that?
Well, for me, every day I ride. So whether it's raining, whether it's hot, there's a little bit of snow on the ground, I'll try and ride.
And you've got a very efficient machine there, so you're not too worried about it one way or the other, right?
Oh no, and I also have two, so if anything happens to one, I always have a second. It's always good to have a backup. I didn't plan it that way, but it's funny. I ran into someone the other day, and he's like, "Oh, you have two?" I'm like, "Yeah, but it's funny. I can only drive one at a time." He's like, you got one crutch, and it made me laugh. He was just the funniest man. I just happened to stop and see him on the side of the road, and that's also kind of like why I'm coming to Veterans Rally Point all the time. I'm just trying to be more regular, have a schedule, have a conversation with people, and not just a surface level, not just, oh, how you doing? No, when someone asks me how I'm doing, I'm like, oh, I don't know, my knee's killing me. I don't know if I'm sleeping weird or if it's the boots I'm wearing, and I'm trying to have a more in-depth conversation. I don't like these surface level, how you doing today? Oh, I'm doing well.
And that's one of the nice things when you're surrounded by veterans, even if you've only just met them, there's a shorthand. We don't have to explain everything. They're like, how you doing? You're like, not good. And you're like, but are you okay? And you're like, yeah, I'm okay. Or I'm not okay. And like, that speaks volumes. You don't have to get into the whole detailed conversation. Like, mine just sitting for a few, and you're like, cool. And you just sit for a few, and sometimes that's all you need to straighten you out. But when you're in the civilian world, that really isn't a thing. You can't just say, hey, I'm really hurting. Can I just talk to you for like 3 minutes? And they'll be like, whoa, that's a lot more commitment than I got. Whereas if you're with a veteran, they're like,
you're crazy.
You're like, yeah, I got 3. Well, you got 2 minutes and 43 seconds, but I got all of it for you. And that's enough, And so that's one of the great things about the rally point. So I hope as a new guy.
Here at Veterans Rally Point, our most senior member is Thomas Lafreniere. He's 98 years old. He takes 9 vitamins a day and he uses our gym every day. And he's old enough where he can remember gasoline, 8 gallons for $1.
What?
Let that sink in. 8 gallons, it's 12 cents a gallon.
Jeez Louise. I remember filling up for a 20, but that's been a minute.
8 gallons for $1.
Jeez.
Phenomenal.
Well,
Oh,
and for those who haven't been at the rally point much or just hearing about it, is just wandering in any given day. There's going to be peer groups. There's sometimes there's just people sitting around. There's a fireplace thing there, and that's enough to you're just like, hey, mind if I just chit chat or just sit with you?
Yeah.
Talk, don't talk, whatever.
swap
There's a
sea
little-
stories.
Yeah, something for everyone there, and or go work out and don't talk to anybody, or you can just sit there by yourself on your phone and do nothing, but you're still not alone, and that's kind of the whole premise of the whole place. So,
And that's something like I realize a lot of times I'll just do stuff alone. I'll just do it by myself. It's just, I don't know. I think it's easier. I feel like it's easier, but I realize
it's easier.
I don't think it is. Like I need to interact with other people. Yes, I want to go to Walmart at 12 o'clock when there's nobody there, but maybe I need a little conflict resolution with trying to get between people in the aisle and like, why are you just standing there? Come on, I just want the cereal on the other side of you.
Can you
stuff
walk in a
like that.
straight line? What's wrong with you? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Limited interactions are a great way to start. Yeah, I had to start. Never go to a buffet at any of the food places. COVID, it's not such a big thing, but people like picking out the perfect tomato. You're like, Jesus, just get the damn tomato, move on. You can never go to a buffet. But yeah, so the longer you're here, the more hopefully comfortable everybody is, and the more you find your space, whether it's with people or alone with people. So I think we're wrapping up for time. That's been about 15 minutes, unless you guys got something else you want to throw out there. Just, you're never alone. If you know,
I'm always telling every veteran I run across, go to Rally Point at least once to see what's available.
Yes.
You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. It's a wonderful facility. And we have the benefit here in Norwich of having the very first one in America. This is it, number one.
Yes. Yeah. Everything. Showers, food, clothing, gym, resources, counselors. It's the one-stop shop. So.
Absolutely.
All right. On that note, appreciate you guys very much. Salute to you. And we're going to wrap that up.
Thank you, Kat.
Take care, guys.
Thank you for watching or listening to the Veterans Rally Point Podcast. For more information or to help us out, please visit veteransrallypoint.com and support these wonderful veterans. Thank you for watching, America.